totally off of it.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ljs Garage. I am sitting in BMW's smallest SUV. BMW describes the X1 as versatility in action. And today I'm going to give you a walk around tour and we're going to find out exactly what that means today. If you've seen my X7 and that's too large, you know, 3-row SUV, you've seen the X5 and that's too large, that's a mid-size SUV, then you've seen my X3 video, which is a compact SUV, then this is the right one for you because this is as small as it gets. I've never ever said that in my life, believe it or not. So anyways, 2024 BMW X1 xDrive28i. It is a mouthful, but don't worry, we're going to talk about exactly what all of that means today. I really am excited to talk about the X1 because even though it sits at the bottom of BMW's SUV lineup, it actually has a lot to offer, and BMW has done a really great job of giving the X1, you know, something to stand on. So you could get the X1 in two different variations. The first one is going to be the base model, which is the X1 xDrive28i. xDrive is BMW's all-wheel drive system, and I like that the X1 only comes in all-wheel drive because I feel like if you are buying a compact crossover SUV style, that's kind of the perks of an SUV. If you're getting a rear-wheel drive SUV, yes, you might live down in the South, but I feel like that's just kind of the way that SUVs should be, in my personal opinion. And I see a lot of sedans are moving towards all-wheel drive as well. So it's good to see that technology being adapted and kind of moved down in price so that, you know, the lowest models are actually getting a lot of the best features. And that kind of happens over the years. I'll touch on the X1 M35i just a little bit to give you guys a little idea of something else you might consider if you want a lot more sportiness out of your X1. But otherwise, this is pretty much just going to be talking about the xDrive28.
A connection with BMW again and integrate my art into the software.
And if you're curious in the performance numbers, the xDrive28i does 0 to 60 in about 6.2 seconds. Meanwhile, the M35i does it in 1 second less, right around 5.2 seconds. However, this starts at about 40,900, right around that ballpark. And then the X1 M35i, high performance version, starts at about $50,000. Now, LJ has never been one to tell you whether or not that's worth it. However, I will tell you this much. If you think that this 255 horsepower inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine is not all that, it's actually a really fun engine. And in a car that's as light as this, it's a lot of fun. With all-wheel drive, it gets the job done. You're not going to be hurting for power, but if you do want a little bit more performance, let's say you're used to driving a 335i, 340i, and you switched into an SUV or a crossover and you want something a little bit more peppy, then definitely the M35i is the way to go. As mentioned just a second ago, this is a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged. The best part about this is the transmission is going to be a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which is a fancy automatic, but it's a high-performance automatic. High performance. So it shifts faster, smoother, and just all around geared to give you a true thrill when driving. Gas mileage is around 25 city, 34 highway, right in that ballpark. And with all the specs out of the way, let's give you guys a little walk around tour and show you some features of the X1. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you happen to be in the Dayton, Ohio region, Columbus, Cincinnati, all of that good stuff, and you want to take a trip, special thanks to Evans BMW over here in Dayton, Ohio, or BMW of Dayton as it's so called, be sure to stop in and let them know LJ sent you. All right, so here we are on the outside of the X1, and one of the first things I want to talk about is its size. The X1 has grown over the years. As you can see, this is the X1, and next to it is going to be the X3. The X3 is sort of kind of the next size up from the X1. Of course, there is the X2, but that one is the same size as the X1. However, the difference between that and the X1 is one is going to be more coupe styled. And this one's a color that I don't see too often, but it's a really nice green color. I thought it would be nice to highlight. You know, it's not the best sunlight right now, but you guys can kind of get a gist of it, get an idea for it. But I really like the X1 and what BMW has done for it. I mean, it's got nice wheels, it's got nice options, and once I get inside, you guys are really going to like the features that this has to offer. Really cool headlights, daytime running lights. It's got active dampers on the grille. You know, they've done a good job of hiding all the parking sensors. They're all there. But this green color is very unique. Thought you guys might like that. The best part about this one is it sits at about $47,000, which I think this is kind of a very budget-friendly, smart way to option your X1. There's a couple other options that I might add, but I'll go ahead and cover those and let you know how we got to that $47,000 price point. And then right now you can see the active dampers. These guys are open right now, but normally they're closed to allow the engine to warm up to great operating temps during the winter time. And also for aerodynamic reasons, if you don't need the extra cooling of airflow, it's going to go ahead and close the dampers and help you be aerodynamic. But if you need airflow, it'll open. So a couple cool things that that damper has to offer. You're also going to get LED headlights. I'm going to go ahead and unlock and lock these really fast so you guys can see what these look like. But they're really nice, very sharp. And then around the car, you're going to see this satin aluminum trim that BMW does. I think this is really cool. It's a little bit different than chrome, but it gives it that same luxury feel. And I mean, overall, this car is good looking. As far as wheels go, this is what you're working with. And there are several different options as far as the wheels on this car go. And if you want, you can go as large as 19s on these. So on the back of the X1, pretty much the same theme continues. Really cool taillights, also LED. And just very, very bright. I'm going to see if I can capture the LEDs here. No, they're a little too bright for this camera, but you guys can kind of see them. They radiate. And just another nice little touch that BMW does, right along this side, you can see this design. It's a bunch of triangles, but it's smoky, it's cool, and it just really speaks to what the X1 is about. Fun little city car that gives you a little bit of thrill. A lot of thrill, to be honest. And now moving into the back of the cargo area, lots and lots of space. And then additionally, BMW does still include a spare. So you got all of that, but nice space. This little cover can be removed in case you need to stack things a little bit higher. But other than that, seats fold flat and give you a nice little loadings floor. It's a really cool SUV though. And then up here, you push this button, power all the way. What more could you ask for? So now moving into the rear seats, you'll notice that same theme continues, red and black interior, really nice materials, good to the touch. You even got a little cup holder that pops out from here. Bam, bam. Close that up. Otherwise, not much to talk about. I'll go ahead and hop in. So right now, this seat is set for me. I am 5'9", so just enough room to really sit back here. I can fit about two little fingers. And that's about it. You got the place for your maps right there. This seat is moved up a little bit further, so if I were to slide over, like so, I am still 5'9". I might have grown a centimeter or so, but look how much more legroom I have with the seat set for somebody that's maybe 5'5", 5'3", just a little bit of a smaller person. And then here you're gonna have charge ports right there, as well as climate vents. Cool, cool, right? Always a nice touch to have those. But otherwise, I like it back here. Headroom, plenty. And, you know, unfortunately, this was optioned without the sunroof. You could get the moonroof sunroof if you really wanted to. And just a little sneak peek of what up front looks like if you didn't get a good look at it before. Great interior. This one only has the Driving Assistance Plus package and the Tech package. But other than that, this is what you get with an X1. This might throw off some people, but this is where your push start is located. Give that a little push. Nice. So now we're sitting up front. Time to give you guys a walk around of all the features. The first thing I want to point out is right here, you'll see that you've got a head-up display, which is a great thing. You can see your music, the speed limit, how fast you're going, and even your navigation will pop up. So I really do like that they've got that on the X1. So then let's go to your steering wheel. Really nice to the touch. All the buttons are easy to use, very familiar. You see this little gear icon. I always talk about this. You press this little gear and it allows you to customize this very nice xDrive28i system that you get. So you go left to right, and as you go, it'll highlight the area that you're editing. So you can see that little orange bar that goes around everything. So that would allow you to edit your heads-up display. You go over to layout, and that's gonna adjust these right to, and you just scroll up and down on this wheel as I'm doing. And each scroll changes the layout just slightly to whatever you like. So you can control and configure this basically till your heart's content. See what I did there? Because it's content. I'm on, yeah. So you got route previews, you got your maps, you can see everything all from there. So However you like this is really up to you. On the left-hand side, this is going to be your lighting controls, your door locks, your mirror switches, all of that. So you can control everything right from there. You do have another trunk release down here in case you don't want to use your key. Hood latch release down there. And then the rest is pretty straightforward. But let's talk about some of the things that I would say are important to know in the infotainment system. This screen is really fast and responsive. You hit the home button, you always have the shortcut. And if you're someone that likes analog buttons, you don't have to worry too much because there's all these shortcuts that are right here. So let's say you want to adjust your temperature. All you do is you adjust the temperature right here. These don't go anywhere. But let's say you need more details than that. You press this. Now you've got your heated steering wheel, your heated wheel, those type of things there. But you hit this little fan button and that brings up your full climate control settings right there. So you can adjust everything, all your heated seats here, heated steering wheel. There's even different levels for your heated steering wheel. That's pretty new. Most times it's just on or off. So pretty interesting that BMW's added that. Front passenger, same thing, heated seats. You can set all different sorts of routines and things for your BMW to do. So that's really it for the climate controls. Luckily, all the vents are still manual. You move those around to your heart's desire. And then even right here, there's a nice large center vent. And your defrosters are still physical buttons, always a nice thing. So let's get back to this screen. We'll go back to the apps. And in here, there's a few things. You've got your drive recorder, which allows you to essentially have a sentry mode on your BMW when you park it. You know, you're driving around. If there's an accident, you can set that as your triggering event. So let's say I go to here, hit my settings. You can set it to accident, all different sorts of different triggers. And you can just set it to where it's manual. So you can record 30 seconds before, 30 seconds after, whatever it might be. You can configure this to essentially have built-in dash cams, full surveillance, all of those good things. It just uses all your parking cameras. And that's a nice little feature to have. So let's go ahead and go back into this one. There's a lot more things, like you can check the weather. We'll click on that. Oh, current location, it's 86. Okay, I lied, guys. It's not 92. It just said 92 in the car. Still sweaty, though. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. You've got your Alexas. You've even got Air Console games. Lots of different things in here, all sorted into different categories, or you can go to all and see everything all at once. And this we'll talk about a couple different things. You got your lane departure warnings, but if you click on driver assistance, this is where you can see even more of those. So let's go to driving itself. So you've got speed limit assistance, speed limit exceeding warning, all different things, hill descent control, distance controls. There's that, safety and warnings, forward collision mitigation, lane departure warning, active blind spot detection, exit warnings, fatigue alerts, and speed warnings. So all different things that are available. And again, this has the driving assistance plus package for right around $500. I think that's well worth it. So let's go into drivetrain and chassis. This has a lot of things that people might not be familiar with. So let's say you're in here, drivetrain, you've got iconic sounds, and it just changes the drive sound depending on what mode you're in. This one's a new one for me. It's called drive off support. And what it does is it says it makes driving off easier in difficult road conditions such as snow and mud. So I'm assuming it's BMW's way of taking the all-wheel drive system and making it extra smart so that it's able to, you know, get you out of sticky situations really, really fast. So if you're not someone that's familiar with inclement weather, maybe you rent one of these or you take it out for the first time in snow, that's a really nice thing to have. Other than that, vehicle status. You can check all of your intervals, your service history, everything that you need is all there. Owner's manual's there, interior lighting. Let's see if this one has ambient lighting. It's one thing I do not remember. Ambient lighting, oh yes, it does. And of course, you guys know we're going to change this to flamingo pink because that's just what you're supposed to do. Now, we've covered pretty much all the things. BMW personal assistant, you've got all that. You can say, hey, BMW, at any moment, and she'll listen to you, talk to you. You can turn that on if you like it. Other than that, lots of features. Let's talk about the other thing this one has, which is the parking assistant package.
So even if you're in drive, if you press this button right here, it'll take you to all of your cameras right there. So and you want to see, it's going to say right there. It's going to probably pick up one of these spots over here just from driving. See, it popped up there again.
So you know if you can get it to select a spot that you want, or
So if I hit start reverse parking right here, it'll kind of give me a couple options. So you see it has this one right here. It's wanting me to go straight this way.
Okay.
But you will be able to see the options to choose from with it. See, release the brake.
And right now it's finding a spot, or it thinks it's already found a spot?
It's already found a spot.
Oh, it wants that one. Interesting. All right.
Totally off of it. Oh, it looks like it's gonna... See what I'm saying? It gets a little bit freaky.
Yeah.
It gets really close. And I'm not on the brake or nothing. It's doing this 100% by itself.
I'm surprised it picked that spot, but it works. Oh.
See how it does.
So with this one, it has the driving assistance plus package. So that's how you get the stop and go driving assistant features, and then it's going to have the active driving assistance. So the other thing that this has is the technology package. So that includes moonroof deletion. You got the digital key, the theft recorder, and then the surround 3D view. So let's go ahead and show you guys what that really looks like. And this whole package is about $3,000, but it gives you all the tech that you could possibly need, in my honest opinion. And then I'll show you guys a little bit of a clip of what this thing looks like when you're using the parking assistant features. But you can click on this and go to more, 3-dimensional view, and that's going to allow you to see all the way around the car. Then you also have panorama view for the rear view, and then you've got the assisted view with all the different parking sensors. And as you're driving, it'll find parking spaces, all of those good things, and help you get into spots as needed. So lots and lots of parking features that this has because of that parking assistance package. Moving down, you're going to have a spot where you're going to have your wireless charger, and this is where you could keep your digital key and everything like that. So it's stuck in here, but this is what your BMW digital key looks like. Ooh, fancy NFC. And this little locking thing will hold your phone in place, so when you're doing all the fancy driving, it doesn't throw your phone around. This thing does not move, but underneath it, there's a lot of storage that you can find there. You're going to have your volume controls, your shifter. Let's hit on my modes really quick. There's different driving modes. So like if you're in sport mode, it's going to feel different. It's going to change the ambient lighting, the temperatures, the climate, all different things to kind of give you an experience. And some of these are just for like relaxation. If you hit digital art, it's going to give you kind of like a little audio guide, so you can hear that.
Connection with BMW. Start with the creation of the 18 BMW art car. With the digital art mode, we have the chance to cooperate again and integrate my art into the software of the car. I think
if you wanted more features, you can add them. This is where your glove box would be. Up top, you don't really have a lot because your moonroof is gone. You did the moonroof deletion, but you don't have to do that. But then this is your visor would be. It's got a mirror built in and lights and all that stuff. Then up here, these have these little haptic buttons, so you can just touch on them. Lights come on, which you can also do from inside of your screen if you're someone who likes to do that. Something else I forgot to mention while looking at this main screen is you're going to have your rear occupancy alerts. You're going to have your speed limits right there as well. Temperature, all of these things, operating temps, they're all right there. And then PSA, if you're new to BMWs, this is where your turn signal would be. Make sure you use that. And just like that, we've walked through the 2024 BMW X1 xDrive28i. As I said in the beginning, this is really cool that BMW has taken the best of the things they have to offer and brought it down to the X1. A lot of people get into that entry luxury segment and they're often disappointed because, I hate to say this, a lot of the luxury manufacturers, you know who I'm talking about, the big three, Audi, Mercedes, BMW, sometimes you feel like you're not getting the same 7 Series experience in an X1, which I'm not saying you should because the price difference, let's be real. However, with this new X1, it really feels like you're getting a true BMW experience, even though this engine and all these things are, might be a little bit from a Mini Cooper, Mini inspired parts and things like that. Well, there's that. Even though there's that history behind the X1s, the X2s, this still feels really good. Quality, premium, and if you wanted to, you could load this up with a lot more features, more bells and whistles if you needed anything else. But I do really honestly feel like this gives you so many things that with a modern car and you're spending $47,000 to $50,000, you could get pretty much everything that you want. With all the driving features, you essentially have self-driving, and I don't know what else people could really ask for at that price point other than massage seats, but I don't think we're anywhere near that. Maybe in a couple years, massage seats will be like a standard. But otherwise, that's all I've got for you. Driving experience is pleasurable. I had this in a 328i. I love this engine. I love this dual clutch. I love the way that this drives and performs. And realistically, just go drive one, experience it for yourself. And if you're in this Dayton, Ohio region, come in and just stop by BMW of Dayton and check it out. Let me know if you're coming. I'll come visit with you. But this is a true driving experience, and it's really fun, enjoyable. I don't really have any more adjectives, but this is not a high-performance car. But what BMW does to make themselves the ultimate driving machine is they take an ordinary sedan, an ordinary SUV, add a little sprinkle to it, and then it turns into something that's worth driving. This X1 is no exception to that. With all that out of the way, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed or learned something. I will see you on the next episode, and if you're new to the channel, once again, consider hitting that subscribe button. Till then, peace.